Alrighty guys, welcome. Thank you for coming to spend your Wednesday night to hang out with us. I wanted to give a really big shout out. We've got Chris, Diane and Kylee who are all launching tonight. So thanks so much for jumping on and supporting them. It's pretty daunting and kind of a little bit nerve-wracking when you're jumping on here and trying this out. So it's really nice to have a few familiar faces jumping on and supporting them. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what journey they're taking. It's a whole new kind of area for them. I remember I've been in the business for 12 months now. So I remember back, it's a bit, it's an overwhelming time, but we really like to do these to show family and friends what they're getting into, how you can support them, how you can help them. It's a word of mouth business. So if we kind of break it down for you, you guys can understand and help support your friends. So basically, like I said, I've been in the business 12 months now. It's just been an amazing journey for me. So I'm really passionate about sharing it. And I love getting to launch because normally if you're launching, you've only been in the business a few weeks. So it's kind of like you're a brand new baby. You're just opening up the book of all the exciting stuff that can come from this opportunity. So it's just a really nice time to kind of get the word out there and set your business off strong. So I'm not sure if you guys know exactly what they're doing. So I'm going to break it right down from the start. I'm going to go over the products that we have, the business that's available, and the mission behind what we do. All right. So we actually are virtual franchisees of a wonderful product called Juice Plus, and we're under my umbrella of the Soul Project. So what we basically, our mission is to get out there and make sure more people are eating good food, are filling their bodies full of things that are meant to be in there, rather than all the processed and packaged crap that we're getting these days that really just isn't doing our body any favors. Okay, so we have an amazing product. It is literally whole food. So it's exactly the same as a whole food option, but it's in a really convenient capsulized form. Okay, so this is Juice Plus here. We're going to go over this for you. You might have seen these guys come up on the posts. And then we're going to go over the cool business behind it that lets people stay home and start to create an income from home. It really promotes freedom. It promotes a lifestyle full of, change and actually control. How many of us have a job that we go to that we don't really enjoy? We do it because we have to be there. We have to pay bills. We have to support our families and support our lifestyles. So it's really convenient when we come across an option where we can do that from home and still put our other commitments first. So we're going to break down both of those. I'm going to shoot on over to Jo first. She's going to break down our products for you. And then we're going to hear a few stories and we're going to go through how we make money and our mission behind our business. Cool. So thanks for your time, guys. Jo, where are you, my love? All yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name's Jo. I have been taking these amazing Juice Plus products for almost a year now. These came into my life through Facebook, and Katrina introduced me to these amazing products. Now, when I first heard about them, I was very skeptical. I am a breast cancer survivor. So for me, what I put into my body is very, very important. I'm aware of the fact that we have some degree of control over our health by what we put into our body. So when I first heard about these, I thought, loved the idea of being able to get all of these extra fruit, veg, and berries into our systems without, all of the added expense and the fact that there's only so much we can actually eat in a day. But I wanted to read the research. So I looked into these products and found they were amazing. What I love about them is the fact that they have a food label on them. So these products are exactly what they say they are. So our veggies are actually carrot, cabbage, kale, rice bran, broccoli, beetroot, tomato, garlic, parsley, spinach, and oat bran. And that is exactly what you get. Now, we have over 35 peer-reviewed medical journals have done studies on our products, and they've been printed. They're available for anybody to read. And what is amazing is it's been proven that taking our Juice Plus products actually reduces inflammation in our bodies. And all disease is from inflammation. So by taking our amazing products, which is just food, it is incredible the results that it can have on the body. Now, we never know what it's going to do for everybody. Everybody is different. But if you're at all interested, we have a Juice Plus testimonials group on Facebook. It has over 250,000 happy customers in there. And they tell stories that are just absolutely amazing. It's incredible what filling our bodies with whole foods can do. As well as our capsules, because our company is so heart-driven about changing the nutrition of the world, we also have chews. These are actually available for free for children aged between 4 and 18 years of age. Our company will give these away to kids for up to 4 years, because they know that if we can help the kids get a craving for their fruit and veg early on in life, it's going to help them out for the rest of their life. Our bodies, when we feed them, like attracts like. So what we feed our bodies, we crave. If we live on coffee and donuts and muffins, that's what we crave. But when we're feeding our body the proper nutrition, our fruits and veggies, that's what we also crave. And we've done the world's largest children's health study. So we got parents to fill out surveys while their kids were on these products. And what they've found is the kids actually crave their fruit and veggies. They sleep better. They have better concentration at school. They have less days off sick. And their indigestion's much better. It's just amazing. So we've got stories of parents walking into the kitchens, finding their kids eating carrots and cucumbers and all sorts of things straight out of the fridge, and their kids never used to do that before. So just by adding these into their diet, which the kids think are lollies, but they're actually exactly the same as our capsules, but mixed with a bit of tapioca starch and either some beetroot or kale juice to make them a red or a green colour. And they're absolutely delicious. Ours are all gone. They always are. So, yeah, it is amazing what filling our body with whole foods can do. And then because we're not a catalogue company, we are just all about keeping everything as simple as possible and bridging the gap in our nutrition. The only other product we have is our complete powder shakes. Now, these aren't like shakes that you buy in a chemist, which are full of whey protein and animal products, things like that. Our shakes are completely vegan. They're actually made mostly on pea protein, but they also include fantastic things like broccoli, alfalfa sprouts, radish sprouts, aramat, quinoa, millet, spirulina, yucca, mushroom, all those amazing things that we know we need. And if we have to buy them and add them in separately, cost an absolute fortune. But here they are. They taste amazing. They've got less sugar than half a banana, and they are amazing as an afternoon snack, morning tea, or if you're like me and a breakfast skipper, they're great breakfast. The other thing that's beautiful about our products is they contain a natural mineral called niacin, and that's actually a natural mood booster. So we've got lots and lots of stories on our testimonials page of people who have suffered with anxiety, depression, lots of mood disorders, things like that, and they've actually found great relief when they've added these products in. So if you are interested, definitely jump online, have a talk to whoever invited you here tonight, and they can add you into that group to read some of those amazing testimonials. We also have a complete program that comes with our products, because we're not just about taking the products and, not eating your fruit and veg. We're very much about getting the whole foods into us. I think we now have about 7 different recipe books. They're all available online through our Facebook groups. The recipes that are in there are so family friendly. They're very much about making it easy for whole families to eat whole foods. So we've got fantastic things like choc chip biscuits that are actually, instead of being made out of bleached white flour, they've made out of chickpeas. We've got sweet potato brownies, which are a favourite in my house. Taste like the most moist chocolate, beautiful brownie you've ever eaten, but they're actually made on sweet potato. And then there's things like clean KFC chicken and everything. So it's food that the whole family will eat, but instead of being the processed version of it, it's the whole food version of it. And what we found is that we don't always feel prevention. But by adding these products into our bodies and into our system and living a whole food diet, it's over the past 40 years that these products have been available, the stories of healing that have taken place are just amazing. So I think rather than listen to me go on, probably best if we hear from somebody who has an actual story. Katrina, do we have somebody who's going to have a chat to us tonight?
We do, darling. We've got a few beautiful people. We're going to go over to our launches. So if you're on here to listen to them, we can get them talking. We're going to go over to Chris first. So we're going to unmute Chris. And he's eating this dinner. We got you. Hello. It's all yours, love. Let's hear about what you've noticed being on the product.
Okay, so firstly, I'd like to start with a little bit of background about myself. What I was doing was I was working as a freediving instructor in a country called Timor-Leste. Now, Timor-Leste has very limited food supply, and it also has very limited, so it's very hard to get nutritional value out of the foods that came in. When the foods did come in, it was a lot of processed foods, and any of the organic stuff that we had was grown up in the hills and it didn't last very long, so it was very hard to get a hold of. Now, anyone who knows me, I've been a very active person my whole life, and with diving, that takes a lot out of your body. What I did start to notice was I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And I just, being kind of stubborn about it, I kept just thinking if I train harder or if I eat more food, I'll get better and better and better. But it just didn't happen. Now, my partner, Taku, that's Taku there, she noticed the changes in myself. As I was getting sicker, my health started to deteriorate and my fitness started to get worse and worse. It started to affect my work. And that also started to lead me to anxiety and depression and a couple of other nasty little things. And she just said, right, we need to do something about this. So she contacted a friend of ours, Denise, who was promoting the Juice Plus products. Got a hold of it, managed to get it over to Timor, which was no mean feat in itself. And Taku, being the person that she is, doesn't do anything by halves. She ended up getting me the premium pack and basically shoving it into my hands and saying, look, you need to take this. I started taking it and straight away I started to notice a few things. Several things that, one of the things that I, pretty much my whole life, I never really even noticed it, and I had no knowledge of it, but I was constipated. This obviously can lead to lots and lots of problems with your health. My version of constipation was that I was blocked up, but I wasn't needing a laxative. So I just thought that, it was a normal thing. As soon as I started taking the product, all of a sudden I was going once a day, and it was just like the most luxurious thing that I'd ever done in my life. It was fantastic. So I just thought, wow, that's amazing. Other things that I noticed was that my nails were growing out of control, really strong, and my hair was starting I had bald spot on top of my head. I didn't know about it because obviously I can't see it, but I started getting the hair started to grow back, and it wasn't until Taku told me that I actually had a bald spot and now it was gone that I thought, oh wow, that's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. Stayed on the products, been really, really good. But I also started to think to myself, I started taking more and more notice of the testimonials and that sort of stuff. And everyone's going, oh, I'm getting this amazing energy boost and all this sort of thing. And I'm thinking, well, I don't seem to be getting that, but maybe it's just different for different people. It wasn't until I sat down and I actually thought about it, and I realized that I'd been living on sugar pretty much my whole life, if I felt run down, I'd drink an energy drink. If I didn't have an energy drink, I'd drink a coffee. If I didn't have a coffee, then I'd just find a can of Coke or a Fanta or pretty much anything that had a high sugar level in it. I would do this, get that sugar rush, and then obviously have a crash. And when I crashed, I would just drink another sugar drink. It dawned on me, I had this massive epiphany that I wasn't drinking sugar drinks anymore, and I wasn't drinking coffee, and I wasn't drinking energy drinks. The Juice Plus was giving me that sustained energy throughout the whole day. So in actual fact, I was getting the same thing that everyone else was getting, and I just hadn't even realized it. So that has made a huge difference in how I feel. Being able to dump sugar and having sustained energy through the Juice Plus has just made a huge, huge difference to my life. That's pretty much the gist of how it's worked for me. I've got amazing, like my skin has cleared up, my energy levels have risen, my hair is growing back. I'm able to sleep through the night, and my nails are just like strong as. So it's been an amazing product, and we love it so much that we've decided to become distributors and start to sell it ourselves, because we want to get it out there and share it with as many people as we possibly can.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Thanks so much, Chris. Yeah, you deserve an applause for that. Thank you, darling. That's perfect.
No worries.
I love it. I think that's why most of us become distributors, because we just love it. We love it. We want it to get out there. We want it to feel better. We're going to jump on over to Kylee.
Oh, no.
And, hi, Kylee.
Oh, hi.
We're just going to put you on the spot. Kylie's launching tonight too, guys. So we're going to talk to Kylee and hear how the products kind of affected her.
All right. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mum to 3 under 5, and I was constantly feeling exhausted and drained and tired all the time, arguing with my partner a lot over money and whatnot, and starting to get quite depressed. And yeah, so I just stumbled across a post one day and decided that why not? I've got nothing to lose, so may as well give it a go. And I've been taking it for probably 2 weeks roughly now, and yeah, feel better already. It's given me something to look forward to. I'm sleeping better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about all.
That's wonderful, darling. And your boys get
yeah.
the shoes, hey, too. Do they like them?
Well, I haven't got them yet, so I haven't tried them on them yet.
Oh no, they're still on their way to you. Oh well, that will be exciting.
Yeah.
Something to
Yeah, so I'm I'm excited to get our freedom and yeah, hopefully feel more benefits from them when the kids get them, and yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. I can totally resonate with you as well, darling, because Kylie's got a young baby, and I think as parents, when we come into this business, we quite often feel fried, you know, like Kylee has 2 older babies as well. So I was much the same. I completely understand what you mean, where you feel like you kind of lack, I don't know, maybe excitement about life. Obviously you love your babies and you love your family that's growing. You kind of get lost in that motherhood role. Hey, so I'm really excited for you to kind of feel the benefits of this business. And I know the product's been working for you, but the business even more so, because I know you've got so much to gain.
Yes. Well, I'm very excited too.
Thank you, darling. Thank you for your share. Let me pop on over. So thanks, guys. I know it's really daunting for you guys to be jumping on and chatting to all these people, but I really appreciate it, because I think that's one of the most important things about our business is literally it's real people who just have come across an opportunity that we want to share with people. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kylee, and thank you, Chris. All right, now we're going to go over. Joe, back to you, my dear. Actually, while I'm here, I might do it. You can do the next one. Sound like a deal? Cool. While I'm here, save us swapping over. But we're going to talk a little bit about the business now. We're going to switch gears. So exactly like Chris said, we come into this business because we love it. We love the product. We understand the concept of helping other people feel better. We understand the concept of fruit and veg. But there's so much stigma and misunderstanding around the industry. It's still out there, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't. I try and combat it daily. But you know what is the most ironic thing is that before I started this business, I was a massive skeptic. I had no idea what the network marketing industry was about. I was scared of it. I thought, you know, they were all pushy, crazy people who were going out there and, you know, kind of pushing products down people's throats. But what I found was an amazing bunch of people, especially in Juice Plus, because they're all healthy. They're all happy. They're all loving life. And they want to go out there and just bring that love and that positivity to more people. So I think that's really important. So I'm going to break down a few of the myths that I've kind of been able to understand and work my way through as my journey through network marketing has kind of gone bigger. And the first one, of course, is obviously people think that there's one person that sits up the top and everybody makes that's how they make their money, right? There's one person sitting up the top feeding off others. That is not what happens in network marketing at all. But I can tell you it's what happens in traditional business. So when I first left high school, I had a dream to own a dance studio. It was going to cost me about $12,000 to be able to fund my dance studio. So in order to get that money and have my business, I worked in retail. I started off down here. I was at a tourist attraction in Surfers Paradise. If anybody's ever been to Surfers, you'll understand why I hated the job. So I started down here. I worked 7 years at this company, 7 years for one company. It was a tourist attraction, so I was working weekends, I was working late nights, I was working public holidays, I was working family holidays. So, you know, even Boxing Day, Good Friday, Easter Sunday, all of those days I was away from my family, working here for this person up the top. Okay, now he worked up here, he worked hard, but he told us all what to do. Okay, he told us what to do. It's how the system ran. And then over the 7 years, there was a few rungs there. Over the 7 years, I slowly promoted my way up. I worked really hard because I've got a really strong work ethic, and I ended up getting to senior supervisor. So I pretty much got an extra $4 an hour to do an extra 20 hours work a week. So I was in charge of staff, I was in charge of reporting, I was in charge of like a rostering, all sorts of different things to thank me for being a hard worker. But it's funny how this works, because as I was trying to work my way up, I was stepping over my friends. They were getting the shits because someone was getting promoted and someone wasn't. And it was creating quite an animosity amongst one another. You know, it was quite a competitive environment. Even though we were friends, the numbers and the positions got smaller as we went up. And, you know, we all kind of wanted to be at this managerial position because it kind of meant that we made it. You know, we'd worked our way through. I was lucky enough that when I got here in the 7 years, I got out. I'd made enough to start my dance studio, and I thought that's fantastic. You know, it's what I've always wanted, because now I get to be the CEO and kind of tell people what to do. I get to run my own business. I get that freedom. So I started my dance studio, and what I found was if I wasn't there, this whole structure fell apart. I couldn't take a holiday, because people would ring me and be like, what's going on? You know, so-and-so hasn't turned up for work. We can't cover this shift. This person hasn't paid. My work never stopped. And whatever money I was making was very quickly going out in overheads. So I had to pay insurance. I had to pay wages. I had to pay electricity. I had to pay all sorts of bills in order to keep this structure alive. But it still wasn't giving me the freedom that I kind of created, that I wanted, that I craved. So for me, it didn't work, but I was still completely frightened of this elusive pyramid that is network marketing. When I got involved, a good friend of mine who I went to school with, she broke it down like this for me, and it really got me thinking. You know, I was in a pyramid. I owned a pyramid. But this kind of network marketing was nothing like that whatsoever. When we come in, it's actually more like this. So we come in, everybody's equal. So you know how I was talking before about how you get competitive because more people have experience and, you know, certain people are better at different things. Whether you're a doctor or a stay-at-home mum, we start it here. There's absolutely no bias in here. It's an equal playing field. And the pinnacle position is NMD. So that's pretty much our CEO. And what I loved was up here, there's not one position, it's unlimited positions. So when you come in here and you start off, you can take your business wherever you want to go. If you want to become a CEO of your own business, you take it all the way to the top. If you want to earn an extra $500 a month, you take it however you want. If you want to really work and create a multi-million-dollar figure, you can do that. Absolutely. There is nobody stopping you. There's nobody stepping over you. It's just depending on how hard you want to work and how much you want in life. I really liked that because I'd always had a strong work ethic, and I'm not going to say I loved money, but I loved the choices that it brought me. I wanted to be wealthy because I wanted to be able to take my children on overseas holidays and it not break the bank. I wanted to get out of that living week to week kind of circle that happens in life. So something like this made sense to me because somebody wasn't telling me how much I was worth. I wasn't getting a dollar figure. I could create what I wanted out of my job. What I liked is that if I wanted to reach up here, the only way I could do it was by helping others. So, you know, when I introduced other people to the business and they had dreams and they had goals, it was my job to help them achieve it. So I was getting there by helping others, and it wasn't about me. It was about what I can bring to the table. And I thought that was really important as well. So I hope that kind of shows a little bit of the difference. It's absolutely, there's never one person sitting at the top. If anything, it's amazing community helping one another. We'll get on a little bit more about how we make income a bit further down the track, so I can show you that it's definitely not, you know, one person creating it for everybody else. But we're going to head on over to Jo now. I want to hear her share a little bit more about what she found and what she was worried about when she started the business. And then we'll get into some more business shares.
Thanks, Katrina. So, like Katrina said, when I first came into the business, one thing that I was really worried about was not knowing enough people. At the time, I was a family daycare mum, so I live in a tiny little beach town. The only people I really knew were the mums of the kids who I looked after. And so to me, I'm like, how on earth can I do this business? But Katrina said, don't worry, we will show you how to use Facebook. And I said, okay, no worries. So what happened was at the start, there was just me up here. So to start with, like I said, I only knew some of the family daycare mums. So I shared it with Beck. Beck used to drop her kids off to me. She had two lovely little munchkins and she would cry more than they would. They were happy to come see me, but she was devastated to have to leave her beautiful babies with me and go to work. So I shared the business with her. She absolutely loved it, and she shared it with her friend, Angela. Angela loved the business, wanted to get out of her office job, and she shared it with her daughter, Jacinta. In the meantime, I was on Facebook one day and saw a post from somebody. It was actually a daughter posting on behalf of her mum saying, my mum's mum has just passed away. She's been left with a house with a mortgage and no one will hire her because she's 60 years old. Does anybody know of any work available? So I just reached out to her and had a lovely conversation with Beryl. Beryl jumped on board the business because, you know, she was in a spot and had tried similar businesses before, but loved the support that we got with this one. So Beryl jumped straight on board and she shared it with her daughter, Katie. Katie loved what she saw and she shared it with her friend, Alyssa. Alyssa jumped on board. She shared it with Emma. Emma shared it with Tony. Tony shared it with Lauren. So you can see how I only knew one person out of this. In the meantime, while this is going on, these people are sharing it with more and more people as they go on. And this is what is called the popcorn effect. Now, by jumping onto our trainings and learning how to use Facebook, I have shared this with now many more people, and they're sharing it. And in less than 12 months in the business, I have 70 people in my little popcorn circle here. So out of all of those 70, I actually only know 3 of them. So 3 in real life. Well, I've had the privilege of meeting many more of you now, but yeah, I actually only physically know 3. So it's amazing. You do not need to know people in this day and age of social media, where we share what we're doing. Everybody is looking for either better health or better wealth. So it's yeah, do not need to know a lot of people to be successful in this business.
That's awesome. And can I just highlight too, Joe and I actually met in Bali for the first time. That's how we became friends. So it just goes to show you can literally take this business everywhere with you and meet people on the journey as you go. So yeah, like promised, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we make money in the business, which for me has been able to change my life. So I talk about my dance studio. It got to a stage where I realized that it wasn't producing what I thought it would. If anybody's had a traditional business, you know that it's fun, it's rewarding, but it is so stressful and it controls your whole life because it's your baby. And if you go anywhere without it, it can quite often crumble, and you know, people don't run it like you do, and it's just all sorts of different things that pop back up. So for me, I wanted out. I wanted time with my children because I was so over palming them off. You know, my partner was so over cooking dinners by himself, looking after the children, and it just wasn't working for our family. So when this kind of opportunity came into my life, I was so skeptical. I was very skeptical. But I just can't deny what it's done for us. So I'm going to share for you a little bit about how we get paid. Baby, you're going to have to hop off now. Cool. So when we come into this business, we get paid 3 ways. So we get paid a retail profit, we get paid a commission, and we get paid bonuses as well. Now, when I started, like I said, I was very skeptical because I wasn't sure how this money came about. I was a little bit reluctant to think that maybe it was coming off the team that were below me, and I wasn't happy with that concept. But what Lauren shared with me, who brought me into the business, she let me know that Juice Plus has been around for 35 years. So they actually know what they're doing. They understand Lola, stop. They understand the business model, and they want to promote something that's going to last. Yep, you can have one. You can share right on this. They want to write on the board, and they hate that I'm holding the board. So they have a business that's been around for 35 years. In that time, they never once pay for advertising. Okay, they're a very smart company. They understand that what sells products is heartfelt stories and people that actually use the product. So they don't pay for marketing. They don't pay for advertising. They don't stock it in stores. So they don't pay shelf fees. They don't pay warehouse fees. They don't pay management fees. They pay nothing whatsoever except for the actual beautiful product itself. In doing so, they save millions and millions and millions of dollars every year. So like Joe shared before, we have 250,000 people just in our testimonials page online. Okay, it's a global product. So if you can imagine how much of this product is being made every year, it goes to show that there is a fountain of, you know, of profit sitting there. And what they do is they pay us this money in order to go out and share their amazing product and share our stories of what it's done for us. Okay, so I'm going to share the bonuses tonight because it's the fun money. Not many employees pay out bonuses anymore. But bear in mind that when I explain this, it's only 1/3 of how we get paid. So when we start, we move into VF. Everybody comes in there. In the first 10 days, we move you to DVF, which gets a $100 bonus. Okay, then we move on to SDVF within the first month, and that makes a $400 bonus. Now, because this is a teaching business, if you help somebody achieve SDVF, you also get paid $400 for doing so. Okay, we don't have managers or anybody telling us what to do, and that's how we help move our positions up, by helping people achieve their own goals. So then we move on to SC, which is a $600 bonus and a $600 if you teach somebody to get there. Then we move on to SSC, which is a $1,200 bonus, and $1,200 if you teach someone to get there. Then QNMD, which is $1,500, $1,500 if you help someone get there, and NMD, which is a $3,000 bonus. And at that point, you no longer need a bonus if you're an upline, because you're making an average figure of about $100,000 per annum residual. So when we talk about residual, that's this second figure in here, which is the percentage of your team's work. Now, like Jo shared, she has 70 people in her business now in her 12 months. So imagine the amount of these bonuses that she's picked up. Okay. I've got a team of close to about 200 now. And that is why I've been able to give up both of my businesses that I had previous to this. And I just do this full time. What's the absolute winner for me is that I've been able to retire my partner, and we now work on this together. So we get to take our kids to school. We get to pick them up from school. We get to go on family holidays. Nothing falls apart. It's just a much more stable and happier kind of lifestyle for our family. But I'm going to jump on over. I'd love Vicky to share her personal story of what the business has done for her life. Because again, you know, we can tell you these figures, we can show you the facts, but it's actually the stories that I think make all the difference. So Vicky.
Hi, thanks, Katrina. Okay, so before I started this business, I was, well, long before I started this business, I was a single mum of 4. I now only have my youngest living with me, and I've recently, well, I am a teacher. So I've recently, just this year, taken on full-time teaching work, which I do like, but it can be stressful. If anyone out there is a teacher, they are aware of that. But Jo was the one who introduced me to this business. She was very patient with me. And the thing that I have found that I love the most with this business is, so far, is just so much support and so much nurturing and so much positivity. I'm really enjoying that. That's something that's really important to me. And that's what I'm excited about in the future, just being a part of such a positive and uplifting, supportive team. And as well as all the bonuses Katrina talked about. So, yeah, we are not extremely financial. Being single for a long time, after not working for such a long time, it was very hard to find my way back on my feet. So that was something it's very important to me to find some financial security. So I'm not a money hungry person. I just crave that sense of security like most of us do. So that's what I'm excited about for the future. Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you, love. I love that. I think that's what most of us crave. And it's never really about the money. It's about what it can do for you. Like, I know my kids are driving me nuts tonight, because apparently whenever Mum's busy, it's when you have to come and annoy her. But I like that. We all know, hey, if you've got them at home, you understand what I mean. But I like that I'm here. Like, I get to go to the school awards. I get to do all that stuff. That was the mum I wanted to be. And it was never going to happen if I was continuing on my traditional path. So thank you so much for your story, Vicky. That's a beautiful share. I think it's not really about the money. It's about what it kind of lets us do. So beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to jump on over to Diane, because Diane is actually launching tonight. Now she is Vicky's beautiful teamie. So here she is. Diane, I'd love to hear your story, darling. How did you come into it? I've never actually got to meet you properly yet. So run me down. What's happening in life, girlfriend?
I work full-time at a call centre, and every day I'm feeling tired and just no energy. And I saw an ad on Facebook from Vicky, and I was really interested in finding out a bit more about it. So I just got some information off her. It took me a little bit of time. She was so patient with me and didn't try and push me to buy it or, join or anything like that. But I was getting sick of feeling really down, and I finally jumped in, and now that I'm taking the tablets. I've been having from just about a week now, and I am starting to feel not as tired at work. So during the day, I'm starting to feel a bit better. I'm still sure there's a lot more things that will eventually turn around for me and change how I feel and sleeping and things like that. And hopefully I am hoping to get out of this to leave work and be comfortable with just being able to do this and be able to live off that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's about it, I think.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story, darling. Something we can all resonate, and we're all kind of here to help you, darling. Absolutely. I love that you're so right at the start of your journey, and yet you're here on tonight in jumping on. Sorry, I've just lost you and your microphone's turned off. I'll be 1 second. Let me jump back in. Can you see the little button down the bottom, darling, that lets you unmute yourself? Feel free if you want to have
There
another.
we go. Yep.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Del?
I was just saying that Joe and Vicky have been so patient, really helpful with what, helped me get going.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I find, because that was one of the things I was most scared about coming into this business, is I didn't want to feel pressured or feel pushed. And I think that our team now has the most perfect balance. So many respectful, beautiful leaders who are ready to help and kind of, you don't have to push a program like this. Like Joe said, people out there are either looking to get healthier or they're looking to get wealthier. And we have the most perfect gift to go with both of that. So you don't have to do much hard selling. It's a very simple process, and the system here works. So if any of it kind of makes sense to you, if you look at it and you think it's kind of exciting, definitely get your questions answered. I sat on the fence for 12 months and I kind of kick myself for it now, because 5 months into my journey, I could give up my businesses. And I just think the 12 months extra time to watch my daughters grow up would have been fantastic. But, divine timing is a miraculous thing. It happened perfectly for me. But get your question answered. Don't sit on the fence for too long. And definitely we all come in here with worries, with concerns, with doubts that we can't do it. We are designed to help you with that, guys. Absolutely. So don't feel like that could hold you back. We all get that way at the start. If you're looking at this and it just doesn't resonate at all, I thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate it. And definitely keep it in mind if you ever know of anybody who might need it. You might have a sister who doesn't want to go back to work, or, you might have a mother-in-law that's really sick that you think the product could benefit. That is the perfect direct word of mouth that we're after. That's kind of why your friends invited you here tonight, to let you know what they're doing, so that if you meet anybody along your journey that you think they could help, definitely pass them their way, because really that's how we advertise and that's how we create our kind of business. So I hope that all makes sense to you guys. I really appreciate everybody sharing. I know so many of you talked for the first time tonight, so I'm really proud of you guys for getting out there and doing that. You did a fantastic job. And I really appreciate everybody jumping on and giving us your time on a Wednesday night. So if you've got any questions, or if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, feel free to pop it up in the chat box or talk to the person who invited you here tonight. But definitely, come and get your questions answered. And thank you so much for your time, guys. Have a beautiful night.